Welcome to OMARanger004, and today we will explore the comic book origins of Red Hood. But before we begin, please join me on Patreon by OMARanger004. Your small donation helps run the channel. With that out of the way, let's begin. The Red Hood is an alias used by multiple characters appearing in comic books published by DC Comics. 1. The identity was first used in the 1951 storyline, The Man Behind the Red Hood, which provides the earliest origin story for the Joker. The storyline depicts an unnamed criminal wearing a red dome-shaped hood who, after a chance encounter with Batman, is disfigured by chemicals and becomes insane, giving birth to his future Joker persona. 5 decades later, the identity was used again in the 2004-2006 Batman Under the Hood story arc. In Under the Hood, Jason Todd, Batman's second crime-fighting partner who had been killed by the Joker, came back to life and became a violent vigilante, using his killer's former alias. A 2011 storyline following a reboot of the DC Comics universe, The New 52, featured a criminal organization called the Red Hood Gang. Jason Todd continues as the main Red Hood in the current DC Comics continuities since his return to life, though alternate continuities used in television shows, side comics, and so forth have used variants of all of the Joker, Jason Todd, and the gang. The Joker the Red Hood first appeared in Detective Comics number 168, February 1951, in the story, The Man Behind the Red Hood. 2. In this original continuity, he became the future Joker. A flashback reveals that a criminal, who at that time called himself the Red Hood after the seemingly eyeless red dome-shaped hood worn by him, attempted to rob a playing card factory. While chased, he fell into a catch basin full of chemicals, which disfigured him, then escaped by swimming to safety, a breathing apparatus inside the hood preventing him from drowning. Driven insane by his change of appearance, he recreates himself as the Joker. A decade later, the Joker resumes the guise, while another criminal attempts to adopt the identity, too. In Batman: The Killing Joke, writer Alan Moore added the new detail that the future Joker, at that time a cash-strapped, unsuccessful comedian, had been made to adopt the Red Hood guise by a gang of criminals so that he could play the patsy for them. This story presented a darker version of the origin and introduced the idea that the Joker acted as an unreliable narrator concerning his own past. A retcon appears between the Batman number 450 to 451 storyline The Return of the Joker and the one-shot graphic novel Batman: The Man Who Laughs. In The Return of the Joker resurfaces after his apparent death at the end of the Batman: A Death in the Family storyline. The Joker rummages through his belongings, finds the Red Hood costume and wears it for a robbery in order to regain his confidence and become the Joker again. Batman: The Man Who Laughs is a retelling of the Joker's first appearance, a few months after the Red Hood's plunge into the chemicals, thus tying the story into both Batman: Year One and Batman: The Killing Joke. Here, Batman is in possession of the Red Hood costume, presumably having discovered it on the banks where the Joker washed up after his swim in the chemical basin. Jason Todd: Another version of Red Hood appears in the Batman Under the Hood storyline running through Batman Comics, written by Judd Winnick. Jason Todd, the former Robin killed by the Joker in Batman: A Death in the Family, is revealed to have been resurrected by Ra's al Ghul via the Lazarus Pit. But the pit changes him and his emotions and he becomes the new Red Hood. His debut culminates in a fateful confrontation with those he feels have wronged him. He beats the Joker with a crowbar, mirroring the way the Joker had tortured him before killing him with a bomb, and later kidnaps him. The new Red Hood assumes control over various gangs in Gotham City and starts a one-man war against Black Mask's criminal empire. He actively tries to cleanse the city of corruption, such as the illegal drug trade and gang violence, but in a violent, anti-heroic way. He eventually comes to blows against Batman and other heroes, including Nightwing, the new Robin, Tim Drake, Onyx, and Green Arrow. In the second story arc of Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison and Philip Tan, Jason retakes the Red Hood mantle. With the goal of making the very concept of Batman obsolete, he puts a lot of effort into public relations. He drastically alters his Red Hood costume to look more like a traditional superhero outfit, and recruits his own sidekick known as Scarlet. In their war on crime, Red Hood and Scarlet freely kill criminals, villains and anyone who gets in their way, even the police. After all of Red Hood's killings, he leaves behind a calling card which states, "Let the punishment fit the crime." He describes his vendetta against Dick Grayson as the revenge of one crazy man in a mask on another crazy man in a mask. At the conclusion of this saga, Jason is last seen escaping from prison, having donned a new costume and sidekick free. Due to the Flashpoint event, his future was never explored. After Barry Allen's involuntary tampering with the Continuum, Red Hood is shown, along with Arsenal and Starfire, as one of the Outlaws, a close-knit group of anti-heroes. Still not above killing, and still angry at the world, Jason has now reverted to the street clothes costume, foregoing his feud with Batman for stealthier, more cloak and dagger missions. Eventually, Jason and Batman reconcile and call a truce between them. 3-4. In an interview for the Infinite Crisis hardcover, Janine Schaefer states that Jeff Johns originally planned to reintroduce Red Hood as the Jason Todd of the Earth 2 universe, but such plans were discarded. 5. Red Hood Gang in the New 52, a 2011 reboot of the DC Comics universe, a gang called the Red Hood Gang, appears in issue number 0 of Batman, Volume 2. A young Bruce Wayne, not yet Batman, had recently returned to Gotham to start his crime-fighting career. One of Bruce's early targets was the Red Hood Gang, which he managed to infiltrate undercover. On Bruce's dismay, the leader of the Red Hood Gang knew his group had been infiltrated and managed to weed out a disguised Bruce as the culprit. Though the Red Hood Gang attempted to kill him, Bruce manages to escape into the sewers after the police show up to break up a robbery. The Red Hood Gang eventually follows him into the sewer system, but a prototype motorcycle hidden in the tunnels allows Bruce to escape. The Red Hood Gang is later seen outside of Bruce's apartment, scoping it out for their next hit. 6. The Red Hood Gang subsequently reappeared in the first story arc of the Zero-Year event, Secret City, where 5 months prior to the birth of Batman, Bruce gets involved with the Red Hood Gang to spoil their plans to sink a pickup truck full of men who refused to join their ranks. During this encounter, it is revealed that the Red Hood Gang's ranks have expanded. It turns out their leader had since begun blackmailing innocent Gotham citizens into joining the group, threatening violence against them if they refused to be his henchmen. 7. They eventually steal an airship belonging to the Penguin and several weapons from Wayne Industries. Bruce discovers that the Red Hood Gang has been doing business with Bruce's uncle, Philip Kane, who was selling them weapons after being forced to join the gang. When Bruce discovers this, he goes to tell Alfred, but a bomb from the Red Hood Gang to welcome him back to the city blows up the apartment. 8. The motivation of the Red Hood Gang comes to light, and it was revealed that they had been inspired by the impact that the murder of Bruce's parents had upon the city. The murders of the famous and beloved Dr. and Mrs. Wayne had made the residents of Gotham fearful, since if even the rich and powerful could be gunned down by a random criminal, no one was safe from being harmed by crime. Embracing nihilism, the Red Hood Gang killed, robbed, and caused suffering in order to make the average citizen know their lives are worthless and they can and will be murdered at any given moment. 9. The culmination of the Red Hood gang's campaign of terror was their plan to take over the Axis chemical plant and use its resources to create a flesh-eating bacteria. Bruce Wayne, as Batman, lures the Gotham City Police Department to the plant. During the battle that ensues, Philip Kane is mortally wounded by the leader, who accuses him of betrayal. The police raid the plant and the gang is arrested, while Batman goes after the leader, who ultimately falls into a container of chemicals rather than be taken alive. A few days later, police discover the body of the assumed leader of the gang, Liam Distel, stuffed into a barrel of lye. The lye had dissolved the better part of his remains, meaning there was no way to tell when he was killed and placed there. Bruce surmises that the Red Hood gang leader he encountered was an imposter and had killed Distel and taken his place, but there was no way to confirm it or know when the imposter murdered Distel. 10. Afterwards, the remaining members of the gang were then killed in an explosion caused by the Joker. It is assumed that after this event, the Red Hood gang is officially defunct. 11. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more videos about your favorite comics, movies are coming soon. Join me on Patreon by Omaranger004. Your small donation helps run the channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.